In this video, we are going to learn how to build a decision tree using the KNIME Analytics platform. Since we are familiar with creating workflows using KNIME, we have a complete workflow available in front of us, and I will explain you each of the nodes and how it works. First of all, we are going to read the dataset using the CSV reader node. CSV stands for comma separated values. So the file that I'm going to use is the by computer dataset. And you can see here it has a number of attributes and the outcome variables, whether the person would buy a computer or not. Let's take a look at the data table. So the attributes are age, income, whether the person is a student or not, credit rating, and finally the attribute by computer. Please remember that this data set also had a column of ID, but we removed that from the data set because we do not want to include that column into making our decision tree model. Okay, let's partition the data set into test set and training set. We will use the training set to build the model. The training set will include 70% of the rows, and it will be based on the split is going to be based on a stratified sampling on the by computer outcome variable. Stratified sampling will simply ensure that the proportion of yes and no is maintained in both the test and training sets. Next, let's go to the decision tree learner. We connect the training set output port to the decision tree learner node and ensure that the class column is by computer, the quality measure is DNA index, which we have already studied. And then I'm also going to ensure that this binary nominal split has been checked. And the reason for this, that when we look at the data table, we see that age and income have 3 levels of each attribute. But we want to perform a binary split, which means 2 of these levels are going to be combined in one branch. And we will see how the algorithm will do that automatically to ensure a pure split. Okay, and then finally, when the model has been built, we are going to view the decision tree. So you can see there are a couple of options to view the tree. The first one that we are going to use here is decision tree view JavaScript. And the configuration simply requires you to check this create image at output, then click OK. And when you execute this node, you will see that the tree will be available. You can look at the tree by right-clicking and clicking on Open View. So this is the tree. The root node is attribute age. Age uses a binary split now. Middle age on one side and senior and youth have been combined for the other branch automatically to ensure a pure split. So you can see if the person is middle-aged, the class label is yes in all 4 cases. The next attribute which has been selected is the credit rating for this branch. And when we open that, we can see that if the credit rating is excellent, then it's no. If it's fair, then it's yes. In 2 out of 3 cases, so we have a misclassification on this side. But please remember, this tree is based on the training set. That is why it says 9. It has selected a total of 9 rows out of the 14 to build the tree, and the remaining 5 have been kept for testing. Okay. Decision tree to rule set. We could connect the decision tree learner node to this node here, which will show us the rules which have been obtained from the tree. So if we simply execute this node and right click, open output port and look at the table, we can see the rules here. So if the age is middle-aged, then the class label is yes, by computer is yes. So if the credit rating is fair and if age is either senior or youth, then the by computer is yes. If the credit rating is excellent and age is senior or youth, then the outcome of by computer is no. So those branches have been transformed into these 3 rules. So that is how we are able to look at the rules as well. Another way to look at the decision tree diagram is this node, decision tree to image. So we connect the decision tree model output to the decision tree to image node. The configuration does not require you to change anything and simply execute the node. and right click and open view and select decision tree view. So here we have a slightly detailed view in each node. We had a total of 9 rows in the training set. The first attribute is age, middle age on this side, senior and young on this side, and finally credit rating. So that's how the different rows have been classified. We can see that there's one misclassification here. 2 out of 3, yes. And based on that, the majority vote has been taken, and this is classified as yes. And finally, decision tree prediction. So we connect the model to the decision tree predictor node and the test set to the input port of the decision tree predictor. So those 5 rows are now going to be taken and predicted by the model. So the configuration for this node simply tells you that a column will be added here. The column's name will be prediction of by computer, and we will see how that will be done. So open view. Well, if you open the view, you will still get the same tree that was based on the training set. So let's close that and take a look at the data table where those 5 rows have been classified. Okay, so here are those 5 rows, the test set which was not used for building the model. So the original outcome is this column and the predicted outcome is this column. So we can see that this prediction, the first prediction is incorrect, the actual was no, prediction is yes. And the last prediction is also incorrect. Actual was yes, and prediction is no. So this has made 2 errors. Out of 5, 2 errors. So 3 out of 5 are correct. So we could say that on the test set, the accuracy is 60%. Well, it's a very small data set, just 5 rows. So it is understandable that the accuracy is a bit low. So this is how we use KNIME Analytics platform to build a decision tree, to view the decision tree in 2 different ways, getting rules from the decision tree, and finally using the decision tree predictor to use the model which you build on the training set and test the model that you have built on the test set, and then you get your predictions. And that will be all for this session.